One thing we should say, the horses in the film did 98% of their own stuff. There's very little CGI or anything like that going on. They did a lot of it, the majority of it. But we worked very closely with the American Humane Society. They were there from day one. That was what was important. They could see we put everything on the plate and said, this is what we want to achieve. And then we just sat down and broke it down with everybody, with each department, from special effects to stunts. We all worked together, and we've come out with a great work.
What is it?
It's a horse they found wandering about in no man's land.
What kind of an horse?
A miraculous kind of an horse, be my guess.
Yes, I've been lucky enough that my family do films all the time. My father was a horse master and stunt coordinator before, so I've grown up with it.
Now, if there were sort of youngsters watching this and they wanted to get involved in the sort of work that you do, how would they get involved, and what have you got any advice for them?
I think a passion, really. If you have a passion for something, then it will keep you going, because there's good days and there's bad days with horses, it's with many things. So you need the love for it, really.
This is my first film, and I really got involved almost by accident. I was staying with my parents, and their neighbours had some friends down to try out a horse for their son. And I got talking to the dad, and he was one of the art directors on Harry Potter, and so we were talking about art, and I was showing him some of my drawings, and he said, oh, it's such a shame I didn't meet you weeks ago, because we're working on Spielberg's version of Warhorse. Didn't think any more of it than that, but the next morning I got a phone call from Gary saying, Rick Carter, the production designer who won an Oscar for his work on Avatar, has seen your website and he likes your work, and is there any chance you could come in for a meeting tomorrow, which is just amazing. But I would say, if you want to do something involved in art, don't let people sway you from it. When I was at school, they told me if I can do 3 academic subjects, that I should, and if I really want to do art, to do it in my spare time. But I stuck to my guns, and I did A-level art, and I couldn't have got to where I was today if I'd just done it in my spare time. There would never have been enough time. The wounds were done by the impressive special effects department, and we had to work very closely together because obviously, well, it's only one horse and there's only a certain amount of room, but they could only apply wounds to very clean areas of horse, and our job was to make the horses look very dirty. So we had to be very careful to leave the areas that they needed to work on, and they would put the wounds on, and then we would sort of bring the mud in to match.
I was brought into the film at a very early stage, and in fact was working at least for one day, and perhaps either side of that really, looking at the scripts, making sure that the places and locations were correct and what was being said was as correct as possible.
And the same applied in the cavalry. I was sent a number of prop items beforehand because a lot of this saddlery had to be made specially for the film. And so it was a matter of checking that that was all as authentic as possible, and then not only how to make it, but how to fit it on the horse so that it's in the right place and it's worn correctly and all that kind of thing.
Let every man make himself and his country proud.
The film, I think it's the first time that you see real horses, and I think that's the unique thing that the play can't do. And there are some beautiful shots with the horses as well, but also you get the very dramatic scenes as well. And so I think there really is something for everyone.